Welcome everyone, I'm Robin from Robin Drones. Today in this video what I'm going to do, these 4 current DJI drones I'm going to rate out of 10 in 10 different categories, and this video might help you decide which one of these you want to pick up or whether you've got one and you might want to upgrade to the next. So quick disclaimer, all these drones you see here I've purchased myself. I'm no affiliate with DJI or nothing. So if you're unaware of what DJI models these are, this is DJI Neo, DJI Mini 4K, DJI Flip and DJI Mini 4 Pro. So on to category 1, price. The DJI Neo retails for, at the moment, currently, $169 with drone itself or $299, and with that you get the remote controller and 3 batteries and a charging hub. Whereas the Mini 4K, currently the price for just the drone and the controller and 1 battery is $269, or it's $339 for the Fly More combo. And what you get with that, you get an extra 2 batteries and the charging hub. You also get a nice bag to store all in. Moving on, DJI Flip, which is one of DJI's newest drones. Just the drone itself and the controller, not the controller with the screen. With the drone and the standard controller and 1 battery, it's coming in at $369. These are Great British pounds, by the way. Or if you choose the Fly More combo, it's $659, and what you get with that, you get 2 additional batteries, a fantastic charging hub, and the RC2 with the screen. Moving on to the Mini 4 Pro, just the drone and the controller. Again, you get the RCN2 or 3 without the screen, so basically this one. That's coming in at $689 or $979 for the Fly More. With the Fly More, you get the drone, 3 batteries, charging hub, and the RC2, and you also get again, just like the Mini 4K, you get a bag to store all in. So score wise, now these scores are relative to the price and not necessarily how good the drone is. So the DJI Neo being the cheapest at just $169, I'm going to score that 10 out of 10. The Mini 4K, partly due to the price of the Fly More, it's only $339 and you get all this. I'm going to score that 8 out of 10. The Flip is a bit more money, so I'm going to score that 6. It's getting on, you know, quite expensive at $659. And finally, the Mini 4 Pro, again, this is not due to how good the drone is, this is just purely on price. I'm going to give that a 2. Moving on to sensor size. Now, this is not image quality next. The image quality is the next one. So sensor size. The drone with the smallest sensor is actually the Mini 4K. That comes in at a 1/2.3 sensor. However, it's got a 4K gimbal, but this is basically sensor size. The next size up is the Neo with a 1/2 inch sensor. Now the DJI Flip and the Mini 4 Pro both have the same size sensor, a 1/1.3. So score wise, because these are the biggest in any sub 250 drone you can get, I'm going to score both of these, the Flip and the Mini 4 Pro, 10 out of 10. I'm going to score the Mini 4K, because it has the smallest sensor, 5 out of 10. And the Neo, slightly bigger sensor, I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10. Now, moving on to image quality, you've obviously guessed that these have got the biggest sensor, so these are going to have the best image quality. And to be honest, I can't see a difference in image quality between these two. Maybe if it's windy, the Flip moves about more in the wind because of its propeller guards. Image quality, I'm going to score the Neo 1 out of 10. Now, why I've scored it 1 out of 10 is the image quality is just, it's not great at all. Even though the sensor is bigger than the Mini 4K, it's only got a 1-axis gimbal. So it relies on image stabilization. So it'll crop in on the sensor to get your image. But it is the cheapest drone, so. Moving on to the Mini 4K, I still rate this drone. Even though it's a cheap drone with a smallish sensor, I'm giving that 7 out of 10 for image quality. And yeah, so both of these get 10 out of 10 for image quality. Moving on to battery and how long you get out of a battery. The Neo's got the worst battery, it's got the smallest battery. It's rated for 17 minutes. I've done a few tests, the maximum I've got is 15. However, you generally sort of get, you know, about 10 to 12 minutes. The Mini 4K is better because it's not got prop guards, that's rated 31 minutes. Maximum I've got out of that is 24 minutes. Again, you're probably likely to get 22 minutes maximum. The Flip is rated the same as the Mini 4K at 31 minutes, and maximum time is 24 minutes. So these two are identical. Now the Mini 4 Pro, it's rated at 34 minutes, and the maximum I've got is 27 minutes, but on average, 22 to 25 minutes. As for the battery scores, I'm going to give the Neo 4 out of 10, the Mini 4K 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10 with the Flip as well, because they are identical battery life. And the Mini 4 Pro wins at 10 out of 10 for battery life. Moving on to range. I've just based this on the transmission system. The oldest drone, the Mini 4K, only has an O2 system, so it's basically got half the range. Whereas all the other three, the Flip, Mini 4 Pro and the Neo, run off the O4 transmission system. So for this score, I'm going to give the Mini 4K 5 out of 10. It's still a fairly decent drone. You get, you know, plenty of mileage out of it. The other three, so the Neo, the Flip and the Mini 4 Pro, because they have O4, they have fantastic signal. I'm giving them 10 out of 10, all them three. Moving on to category 6, obstacle avoidance. Well, this is pretty easy because both the Neo and the Mini 4K don't have any type of obstacle avoidance. Not that you need it, but it's nice to have it. So I'm going to score both of them drones 0. Now the Flip has obstacle avoidance, but it only has a front sensor, it's infrared, which works relatively well. I've seen people flying in misty, foggy where it doesn't work. So I'm giving that a 7 out of 10 for obstacle avoidance. And the best drone of the bunch, obviously, is the Mini 4 Pro, because it has, not only does it have the 4 sensors on the bottom, it's got 2 at the front and 2 at the rear. So it's a full omnidirectional obstacle avoidance. So that being said, I'm going to score the Mini 4 Pro 10 out of 10. Moving on to resolution. Both the Neo and the Mini 4K will only shoot maximum 4K 30 frames a second. The Mini 4K will do 60 frames a second, but it's at 2.7K and 1080p. Now the Flip will do 4K 100 slow motion and 1080p 100, whereas the Mini 4 Pro will do 4K 100, but it will do 1080p 200 frames a second, and it's got true vertical shooting, because all these other drones, the gimbal doesn't rotate, whereas the Mini 4K will actually rotate, so you get true vertical shooting. So as for resolution, the Neo is the lowest at just 5 out of 10. The Mini 4K I'm going to score 6 out of 10 because you can do 2.7 60 frames a second. The Flip, I'm going to score that 8, and the Mini 4 Pro I'm going to have to score a 10 because it can do true vertical shooting and it does 1080p at 200 frames a second versus 100 frames a second. Now moving on to category 9, features. All of these drones will do quick shots, so Droney, Circle, Rocket, Helix and Boomerang. However, the only two will do asteroid are these two, the Mini 4 Pro and the Flip. Now there's only 2 drones here that you can palm, take off and land in. You can do it on the other ones, but these are fully automatic. So both the Neo and the Flip allow you to take off from your palmy hand like that. You just push a button and it will take off. Now tracking, unfortunately the Mini 4K doesn't have any type of tracking, whereas the Neo has front, back and side tracking. The Flip has the same front, back and side with front obstacle avoidance only. However, the Mini 4 Pro has front, back and side, and you get more control with it, and it's got full obstacle avoidance. So that's just safest bet if you're into tracking. We've touched on this earlier, but true vertical shooting, none of these do it, apart from the Mini 4 Pro. You can crop into all of these, but again, you're adjusting the image quality. Waypoints, Neo no, Mini 4K no, Flip no, Mini 4 Pro yes. Time-lapse and hyperlapse, Neo no, Mini 4K no. The Flip will do time-lapse and hyperlapse, however you can only do it at 1080, so it's a bit limited. Whereas the wonderful Mini 4 Pro does time-lapse and hyperlapse at the full 4K 60. So for feature-wise, because it's got the most features, the Mini 4 Pro takes 10 points. The Flip, because it's missing a few bits such as waypoints and your time-lapse, hyperlapse at low resolution, I'm going to give that 9 out of 10. Mini 4K, yeah, it doesn't have many features at all, unfortunately. 2 out of 10, and the Neo 5 out of 10 because it has the tracking and automatic flight modes. And finally, the last category is controllers. So the Mini 4K will only fly with the RCM1, that's your only option, whereas the Neo, not only will it fly with the standard RCN3 controller, you can also use the RC2 controller, you can also use your mobile phone, you can also use no controller at all, and you can use goggles 3. Now Flip, you can use the RC2 screen controller, the RCN3 standard controller, your phone, no controller, but no goggles. And finally the Mini 4 Pro, you can use the RCN2 controller, RC2 controller, the brand new RC Pro 2 controller, which I don't own, with the screen that flips up and you can rotate it. You can't fly it with your phone You can't fly it with no controller, but you can use the goggles. Oh, I've rated this as, if it can take 3 controllers, I'm giving it 3 points. So unfortunately the Mini 4K only scores 1 in this category. Both the Flip and the Mini 4 Pro score 4 because you can use 4 different controllers. Whereas the DJI Neo will score 5 because you can use 5 different controllers. So here are the total scores for these drones. To be honest, these tally up with how I feel about each of these drones. So the poor old Neo scores 48 out of 100. It's not a bad score. It's a cheap drone at the end of the day. You get, you know, decent image quality, but it's nothing fantastic. Doesn't fly very well because the prop guards is not very powerful. Moving on to third place, the trusted DJI Mini 4K. I wish this scored more, to be honest, because I absolutely love this drone. I would fly it more, but currently at the moment I'm sort of flying these two because they got more features. So yeah, 52 out of 100 Mini 4K. Don't let that put you off a Mini 4K. It's a fantastic drone, especially as the current price is $339 for the Fly More. That is an absolute bargain. Now the Flip. Now a lot of people think the Flip is crap, but I absolutely love it. Partly due to the price. It's almost half the price of the Mini 4 Pro. So score wise, that's come out at 78 out of 100. So yeah, that's a decent drone. Now obviously the winner, let down by its price, scoring 86 out of 100, is the Mini 4 Pro. A couple of weeks ago there was a big discount on this because I think the Mini 5 Pro is coming out. If you're on the fence, I would still pick up a Mini 4 Pro and not necessarily wait for a Mini 5 because it's going to be so expensive anyway. So yeah, those scores I think are the same as how I feel for the drone. My best drone currently is the Mini 4 Pro, followed closely by the Flip. The Mini 4K, again, a great drone. The Neo, well, to be honest, I don't really fly it that much. The quality is not very good. I might put it in my pocket when I go for a bike ride or something, but apart from that. Right, I hope you found this video useful. Please consider liking and subscribing. If you don't agree with any of these scores, please let me know in the comments. And I will see you on the next video. Later.